love you. Want to come in the front? Yeah, in the front. Hi. Say hi. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Sasha, and this is my daughter Arella, who is 20 months old, and we do a lot of mommy-daughter content, a lot of mommy lifestyle videos, and some tips, advice, a few routines here and there. So if you're interested in content like that, I would love if you guys would subscribe to our channel. It would mean so much, and it would help out a lot. Hi! In today's video, I will be talking about 8 different things that I didn't follow as a new parent. Is it 8? How many things? 7 things. Oh my gosh. Okay. Starting with number 1, I do co-sleep with my daughter. She never really used a crib. She did for 4 weeks up until a month. And when she turned a month old, I switched her into the bed. We started sleeping together. It was just so much easier, honestly, for feeding her. You could just do the lay down feed. And eventually when we started using the bottle, it's easy to just plop it right in while she's still half asleep. And honestly, being close to her and snuggling up, I love that feeling. I just learned how to sleep really well with her. So now here, even in the bed, like, she takes up a lot of space, and she'll kick and like throw her foot over me. Her foot will be on my back and stuff like that. Now that she is older, I'm able to like throw my arm over her and kind of like kick my leg up, and we're both really comfortable, sleeping perfectly fine. I feel like she sleeps so much longer because she's just more comfortable. And when she was a new baby, I needed that. I needed her to sleep longer, and now it just comes in handy where we come and lay down and sleep together. And yeah, it is a rule that I do not follow. She started co-sleeping with me very early. They do tell you not to sleep with your new babies because of the risk of SIDS and all of that stuff, but yeah, I did sleep with her. Hi. Number 2, I do allow screen time. So I let her watch TV, I let her use the phone to play those little educational games. Sometimes when we're out and if we're at the grocery store and I'm at the lineup, like I need her distracted, I will give her the phone. If I'm doing something important and I just need that time, or if she's just giving me a hard day, like I will let her sit there and watch some TV. I find that they're very educational, so those nursery rhymes with all the songs and the shapes and colors and stuff like that, they learn so much from their shows. So there's a lot of benefits to that. They're very educational, and babies are very used to screens now with everything being technology based, so introducing them to screens, I feel like it's not a problem. You're just preparing them for the future that they're in now. Now we use phones and technologies, computers in schools, the little iPads and stuff like that. So I think screen times are very good as long as you're limiting them and using them appropriately. Just don't have your kid like shoved in front of a screen watching TV all the time. Like, that's just not good for their brains or their eyes at all. So screen time is really good, just limited and used appropriately. You also want to make sure you're putting on the appropriate shows for them, so don't go throwing on no Family Guy or The Simpsons. Like, put your baby nursery rhymes on, those little shows for kids, Dora, Peppa Pig, anything that they like watching. Yeah, they're good in my opinion. Number 3, starting solids at 6 months. I started her on solids early at 4 months. Hi. She was ready for that because she was sitting up on her own. She was able to keep her neck up, and depending on their age and their size, you can tell when they're ready for solids, and she was before the 6-month age. So that's a rule they tell you. Just make sure that babies are 6 months. You'll see packages on the boxes that say 6 months for babies. A lot of people are very scared to start their babies on solids earlier, but sometimes it's totally fine. Your baby is showing signs of wanting solids, and if you're eating something, they're like totally leaning in and stuff like that. So she started solids early at 4 months. I think before that I was also kind of like dabbing foods on her mouth so she could taste certain things. I know that probably wasn't a good idea, but I think like the ending of 3 months, a little before she started solids actually, but it was early before the 6 months age, so 3 months earlier than the recommended age. Number 4, they tell you not to use a pacifier with your baby because it can distract them from your nipple and just have them really dependent on that. That is true, but we do use a pacifier. She uses it for sleeping now only. I'll give it to her in the nighttime or for her nap, and in the day when she gets up, we will take it away so that she's communicating with us and just not dependent on that for soothing herself. But using a pacifier, we did start her around 6 months. She was a little older. She didn't want it in the beginning, but when she started teething, she needed it, and she ended up using the pacifier. And now sometimes, like with the teething stage, it does kind of give her something to bite on and chew on with the back teeth. So we give her that, especially at nighttime. It kind of helps her soothe herself back to sleep. So we definitely do use pacifiers, and they tell you not to, but we do. Number 5, she has crib bumpers in her crib. So because she doesn't sleep in there, I just find it's totally safe because you're not like pressed up against them. There's no way of her suffocating or anything. But when she was first starting to like chill out on her own time in the day, it was kind of used as where she would go in and like play with her toys or just kind of wait if I was doing something. So I kind of needed the bumper so that she wasn't banging against the rails. She would always kind of bump in and hit her head, and it just became more of a protective thing for her rather than a safety concern because it helped her. Another thing is I discipline my child because like I don't want her drawing on the wall. I just find like when they get to a certain age, they do not need to be baby drawing on the wall. That's a no. Stop. 6, they tell you hi. Number 6, they tell you not to hold your baby all the time because you're gonna spoil them and they'll always cry if you don't hold them. But there's totally nothing wrong with you holding your baby or giving them that love that they need, especially if it's your first child and you want to be spending that time with them and getting the skin to skin contact. Just don't think there's any way that you can spoil them from holding them too much when you're just sitting there and enjoying that time with them. Or if they're crying and they need to be soothed and you pick them up, there's nothing wrong with that. Holding your baby is totally okay, and giving them that love that they need is good for them. In the end, they know that you're there when they need you, and it ends up creating that reassuring bond rather than feeling like, okay, like they're not really there. So it turns out to be so much better than you think. So there's a lot more benefits to holding a baby than to not. It doesn't spoil them at all. And number 7, for snacks, we use packaged snacks. So they tell you a lot like you should be creating home foods and all those baby purees and stuff like that for your baby. Bless you. But sometimes, bless you, that's just not manageable, and babies just will not eat that. So I know they feed what you give them, but they're not always going to be eating fruits and berries and stuff like that. Like she'll eat those crackers, the teething crackers from the packages, or the little puffs. She likes Cheetos now because she's bigger. Little snacks like that from packages we totally don't stay away from on days when they're being super picky and you just can't find anything that they want to eat but you still want them to eat. Packaged snacks like the granola bars or the cereal bars, like they super come in handy, and we definitely use them. So that's just another rule that I don't follow as a new parent, and I know a lot of other parents don't as well. But I mean, it is just something that they always tell you to make fresh foods and give them the berries and make sure they're having full balanced meals. They're not always gonna have full balanced meals, and that's not realistic at all because they do go through so many stages where they're picky and teething and they're not eating, and it's just, yeah, not realistic. So we do use packaged snacks. Those are just some of the things that I do not follow as a new parent. It's just all depending on how you choose to raise your baby and how your family is set up. So yeah, that brings us to the end of today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed and probably learned something new. Don't forget to check out our other videos. My Instagram, I will link it here and again in the description box below. So follow us on there and subscribe and turn on your bell notifications so that you can be notified every time we post, because recently I haven't been posting when I say I will be, and it's just a little bit all over the place. Again, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye. And we need you to say bye. 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 Say like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe.